What is a cerclage in a pregnancy? Hi, I'm Frank Spector, medical malpractice lawyer in Maryland and in DC. So in a pregnancy, the term cerclage means a stitch. That's what it's commonly referred to. It's a stitch that's used to hold together the cervix, which is the opening at the end of the uterus, which allows a baby to stay in during the full 9 months of what we call gestation or development. And in most pregnancies, that cervix, it stays tight, and that baby is allowed to stay in the womb or the uterus until it's time to be born. However, in some women, their cervix isn't strong enough to hold the baby. Now, that's not their fault. It's nothing they did wrong. That's just Mother Nature. But their cervix is not strong enough to hold the baby as the baby begins to develop. And while it may start out as a little bit of an opening, over time, the opening will get bigger and bigger and bigger as the baby becomes bigger and bigger. So what can be done about it? So it used to be that there really wasn't anything that could be done about it. But now, thanks to modern medicine, there's something called a cerclage. And that means that an OBGYN doctor can actually stitch up. They can stitch together this cervix so that it stays closed. And at the time of delivery, the stitch will be removed so the birth can take place. Now, the trick is that if there is a suspicion by the doctors and the nurses that a mom is having what's called an incompetent cervix, which means the cervix is not strong enough to stay closed, they have to take action in a timely manner to be able to sew that up so that the baby can stay in and won't be born prematurely. And we've had cases where this has been missed, where a mom is having a slight opening in the cervix and it's missed, or the significance is not recognized, and an opportunity to put a stitch in or a cerclage is lost. And unfortunately, what happens is as the baby gets bigger and the pressure on the cervix gets bigger, the opening gets bigger and bigger, and babies are born prematurely, which means they're born before they should be. And a stitch is a very, very simple thing to do. And if it's done correctly and at the right time, it can make something that's a tragedy, it could prevent that. And so that a mom goes through the pregnancy and has a beautiful, healthy baby. So we have had malpractice cases where there's been a failure to put in a cerclage. And as the baby continues to develop and get bigger, the opening gets bigger and bigger. And by the time the opening is what we call 4 centimeters, and we use the metric system, it's a few inches, but once it's gone past that, then a cerclage is no longer effective because it's too big and the stitch can't be used when something has opened up that much. So it's very important that the doctors and the nurses discover this early and be able to put a cerclage in before the opening gets too big. This is a situation where we have had cases like this. If this has something that's happened to you or someone you know, you may give me a call. I'll have my contact information below as well. You can have contact form that you can fill out. You can go to my website, frankspectorlaw.com. I have information about all kinds of birth injury cases. I have a contact form that you can fill out, and I will call you and I will speak to you personally. And last but not least, please hit that subscribe button. That way you can take advantage of all of my video content on medical malpractice, and it really helps me out a lot too. I hope you found this video informative. Thanks so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you again on another video. Take care.